Hi folks, I'm Jason and this is my daily vlog called Living with CMT. I hope you enjoy.
Hi folks, just in Costa at the moment, just going to have a coffee and a chill. I've been to the doctors this morning. I've managed to get the thyroid test moved from the 12th of March to tomorrow because I need my blood testing because I'm falling asleep and I'm low on energy, I've got no appetite, I feel drowsy all the time, so he's got that shoved up for me. He's also taken note of the fact that the painkillers weren't working and he's put me on tramadol on a trial basis because obviously you've got to see if they work or not. He's also taking note of the fact that like I said, I'm getting a bit anxious again. I'm going back to anxiety status, which I don't like. I'm going to try and do something about that myself. He did suggest trying to stay outside to try and stay awake, and I told him that doesn't work because I can walk around town and feel myself falling asleep while I'm walking. So yeah, it's going to be one of them days again. We'll have to see. I didn't do a video yesterday, I wasn't feeling good at all yesterday. I've had a sleep in the afternoon and an hour after I'd got up, I actually felt like going to sleep again. I've got a couple of film reviews to do for you. One's called Looking Glass, which is Nicolas Cage, and another one is a very strange film with John Malkovich and Antonio Banderas in, called Bullet Head, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll give you a review for them later. Just enjoying my coffee at the moment, Deb's just bringing it now, so I'll do another video in a bit. Hey up folks, it's afternoon now, going home soon, just got a little bit of shopping doing Sainsbury's. Yeah, didn't really see much that I wanted to buy today. Hopefully I'm feeling better in a bit. I was going to say, I can't remember what I was going to say on miles, but yeah, it's 20 years, believe it or not, since Sainsbury's and Red Nose Day did a partnership. And the next couple of photos that you're going to see are just some photos that we took, a selfie in front of the big nose, which is in Sainsbury's at the moment. You can have your picture taken in front of it. So thought I'd do that while I was out. Why not? Feeling a bit tired. I can't stay open. I'm just going to have my usual cup of tea and a bowl of chips. See if I can stay awake a bit longer. Like I say, I'm really, really tired. I'm just glad I've got my appointment tomorrow now, so I haven't got to wait 2 weeks before the sort out my thyroid, hopefully. Anyway, I'll do another video later. You all take care for now. Bye.
Evening folks, it's Tuesday evening. It's, sorry, I just had to move my laptop there. It's 8:30. Today's video, I didn't do one yesterday. I wasn't feeling very good yesterday. I kept falling asleep, and after having a sleep in the afternoon, I had another sleep. Fancied another sleep in the evening, and I just couldn't concentrate. So I went upstairs, watched a couple of films, which I'll review for you in a minute. As I've just, you've seen the previous videos, we went Costa and then we did Sainsbury's. Now at the end of this video today, there's a few pictures, just what we've taken randomly today of basically things what we've done today. So I'll put them right at the end. The two film reviews coming up are, let me just remember this rightly, Looking Glass and Bullet Head. Looking Glass is another Nicolas Cage film. It isn't that good, to be perfectly honest with you. It's basically about a man who, him and his wife take over a motel. The motel has a past which he inadvertently gets mixed up in. It's very sleazy. He basically finds this passage behind the rooms that leads to a mirror, behind a mirror, sorry, so that he can watch whatever couples in this bed cavorting, blah blah blah. Anyway, he realises he sees something that he shouldn't see because one of the women who he sees in there gets murdered. Obviously, it's been done before, I know. It isn't very good, to be perfectly honest with you. It's probably worth about a 3. I mean, Nicolas Cage is a fantastic actor, but he hasn't half been in some dross just lately. He really hasn't. I'm not liking his new films, I must admit. His older films are fantastic. He's been in some belting films, like National Treasure 1 and 2 and Con Air and all that, and I tell you what, some are brilliant. But his last few have been a bit dodgy. Anyway, this one, you've got the usual, a cop who's acting suspicious, a load of people who are they seem to be at the petrol station across the road, or gas station because it's America. Now, the only problem with this I found was, as well as it being terrible, was these 4 people who were in it that were acting really, really suspicious and very, very dodgy didn't play no part in the film whatsoever. They kind of were there, but for no bloody reason. They didn't seem to be playing a part in it or nothing. They didn't have anything to do with anything. They were just there. So I didn't like that. I didn't like that. There was too many characters that were just no point. And it didn't explain anything really. It didn't explain why the person got killed. It didn't explain what they did with the body. It didn't explain how they got away with it or anything. Nothing got explained at all, which was very, very strange and bizarre. Even though the ending, you do see them find out who done it and, you know, get away and all that kind of stuff. But it just was crap, to be honest with you. I'll give it 3, like I say, because it's got Nicolas Cage in, so I can't really give it any less than that. So 3 out of 10, really, for Looking Glass. Next film's a bit of a bizarre one. It's called Bullet Head. Not to be confused with Bullet in the Head, the Sylvester Stallone one. This one's got John Malkovich in. And what the gist of it is these 3 guys who have obviously pulled off some sort of robbery end up crashing the car, and they need to lie low for a bit, so they hide in this warehouse, this big massive warehouse. Anyway, the problem is this warehouse is also the venue where they do illegal dog fighting, and one of these dogs that was a good fighter ends up losing, and this man is basically charged with killing him, putting him down, because he's not needed anymore, and he's a liability. But this dog don't want to be put down. Anyway, it ends up attacking this guy, killing him. He's a goner. These 3 blokes, like I said, John Malkovich and 2 others, hide in this warehouse, unbeknownst that this dog is in there, who is an absolute psychopathic mutt. You know, it's like rabies on legs, basically. It's mental. It really is. It's dead fierce and everything. It wasn't start off that way. It was a beautiful little pup, because they show you different stories showing how each of them has had interactions with animals and pets over the years. And it kind of is a bit like a multi-story film, to be honest with you. There's no one story other than the fact that they're stuck in this warehouse with this psychopathic mutt of a dog. Anyway, they all get chased, and various ones die, some don't die. Now, Antonio Banderas plays in it, but he's only a part where he's in the beginning and he's in at the end. And he basically is an absolute loon who breeds fighting dogs. And I mean killer fighting dogs, complete psycho dogs. And he is not nice people. And what happens is these people stumble upon where he's kept his money, get his money. He then finds them as he's driving into the warehouse. He sees them. He goes after them. And it's just basically about this bloke, basically this Antonio Banderas character being an absolute nut and wanting everybody dead, who's basically taking something from him. He isn't very nice, people, and he does get his comeuppance. He does get his just desserts right at the end, and it is a nice film. If you don't like seeing anything that resembles animal cruelty, you won't watch this, because even though obviously no animals get hurt in the making of the film, it's still rough, and it shows you a lot of dead animals. It does show you a lot of dead animals and a lot of cruelty to animals. So if you don't like your films where it shows a bit of violence towards dogs or anything like that, don't watch it, because it is rough. It is rough in places. It really is. It shows you the nasty side of obviously people who do these bloody illegal dog fights. And I don't just mean little ones like where Fred down the road has got a pit bull or something like that. These are actual professional ones, and thousands and millions of dollars get spent on the outcome of these Anyway, add into the mix that one of these 3 just happens to be a drug addict who's not a full shilling anyway. He's a young lad, but he's not a full shilling. And you get the gist of the film. I'll give it 5 out of 10. It's not too bad. I'll give it 5, and that's pushing it. But I'll give it 5 out of 10, and it's called Bullet Head. And it's on Netflix. All these films what I watch, by the way, are Netflix, unless I tell you different. So give it that, 5 out of 10 for Bullet Head. Right, I went to see my doc this morning because my painkillers weren't working, and he switched me to Tramadol. I've never been on Tramadol before, but he's only put me on them as a starter because he wants to see how I react to them first. He's told me that they can make me go a bit spaced and way out my head and do silly things, and I said, well, that's all right. That's my usual day, really. Problem I've got is, like I said, my painkillers aren't working at all. They're not working. I'm just like eating Smarties, and I don't like doing that. I want some. If I'm going to be taking pills, I want them to be doing something. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I've also found out now that there's been a bit of a cock up on my prescription, because even though it says cocodamol on my prescription, they've given me Tramadol, which I knew I was going to have, but they haven't given me cocodamol. Now, he's told me that they can run alongside one another. That's not a problem. But throw into the mix that he's also prescribed me metrazapine as well. And Deb's been having a look, and it's not a good cocktail, that ain't at all. Not a good cocktail at all. The one plus and positive of it was I was due to have my thyroid test on the 12th of March, which obviously is, nearly 2 weeks away. In fact, it's 2 weeks today. Anyway, luckily, he's been able to push it through so that I've actually got my thyroid test tomorrow at 11:15. Because I've told him I'm falling asleep all the time. I've got no appetite. I don't feel like doing anything. I feel really lethargic. Um, on my videos, I've looked at them for today and I look half asleep. I look like I'm about to fall asleep any minute. On the bus journey into town, they've had to keep nudging me and telling me wake up. I was drifting and dropping off. My legs have been giving me a lot of grief as well because I've got to wear calipers all the time now wherever I go, and it's taking its toll on my legs because my legs are very thin anyway because the muscles wasted away especially on my right leg. My right leg's like a pipe cleaner. The muscle is just completely atrophied. It looks horrible. So I've got to get used to that now, and that's tiring me out. Tiring me out. Sorry, I'm talking half asleep. But the good thing today is the weather's been beautiful now. When we went down the doctors this morning, I had my coat on and this hoodie, believe it or not. I had my coat on and my hoodie. And when we picked up my prescription and after I'd been to the doctors, we ended up coming back here and I ended up going down in just my Liverpool little jacket, my little what's it jacket that you can see just see the arm on the back there. So it was a really warm day and the temperatures today in Blackpool have been 16 degrees, which is unheard of for February. We don't get 16 degrees in February. We're lucky if we get 16 degrees in May. So 16 degrees in February is ridiculous. And I've just looked. And apparently in London today, one of the places had 23 degrees, which, if you tell me that there's no such thing as climate change, aka global warming, then how can we be getting 23-degree temperatures in February? When I was growing up, we never had 23-degree temperatures in February. We might have had -3-degree temperatures, but we never had 23. So I'm not sure about that. Anyway, after this, all I'm going to do is I'm going to have something to eat, do my video, go upstairs, and I might watch another 2 Ronnies, because I'm on season 7 now. I'm on number 3, I think, of season 7. See what happens there. I didn't really buy anything today, to be perfectly honest with you. I haven't spent any money on anything major. My sister brought me something down yesterday which absolutely shocked the hell out of me. I'll put this on reverse so you can see. That basically says the best of Jasper Carrot. Right, it was class anyway. But it's a cassette. Sorry to all you millennials who don't know what this is. I do apologise. But you see that there? That's a cassette. That goes in a cassette player. Sorry if I'm talking like a moron, but I've seen how millennials react to cassettes. They look at them like, how do I get that in my MP3 player? It's like, you don't put them in your MP3 player. I watched this video a while back, some idiot actually trying to force a vinyl record into, they actually got a record player in front of them. They were only about, 5? No, sorry, they were about 9 or 10, sorry. Yeah, I think they were. Anyway, and they gave them this vinyl player, and they got the needle, and they haven't got a clue what to do with it, and they went right the way across the record, and I was like, oh my God, that's vinyl. You can't do that to vinyl. They were doing stupid things. Like they had like a cassette, a video cassette. Well, of course, video cassettes are alien as well. Video cassette, and they were sort of holding it in front of them and trying to move the thing and listening to it like this, see if there was any sound coming out of it. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, is that what the next generation's like? Because they haven't been brought up with that sort of thing. Even one where they showed them with a dial phone. Remember when you were young and you had the one where you put your finger in and you moved the numbers round? They didn't know what to do with it. They were dead funny. They were literally just putting the finger in like that, and then doing this, and then ringing the number. Even though they hadn't picked the receiver up yet, they were actually ringing the number and picking this up, and they hadn't. No, they didn't. It just did not compute, and it was really funny to watch, knowing that that's what we grew up with. We grew up without mobile phones and without Blu-ray players, without personal computers. Actually, we had bloody computers that had to be attached to your television. I had Spectrum 48K. I had Commodore Amiga. I had, what was the other one? Commodore Amiga. Atari ST. These were all top of the range computers back when I was a kid. Nowadays, you could probably pick them up for £5 in a charity shop if you're lucky. I've actually still got my Commodore Amiga. I've still got it upstairs, a Commodore Amiga 600, complete with all the software, the mouse for it, the instruction manual, and about 600 games. And I've still got that because it's a nostalgia trip, and it's not something I won't get rid of. You know, I don't want to do that. Anyway, I've got my thing tomorrow. Like I said, I've got my appointment tomorrow, and I'll let you know how I get on. It's quite a long video today because, like I said, I didn't do one yesterday. I was not good yesterday at all. And if I had done, you wouldn't have got 2 words out of me that made sense. I'd like to thank Steve Cook for keeping in touch with me and wanting to know how I'm getting on and stuff, because he worries about me, blessing, because he's a good mate. He's a really good mate, Steve Cook is. And it's nice to have that kind of friend who is bothered about you and who does want to know about you. So not only is he, somebody who I've met through my vlog, basically, and through the internet, but he's a really good friend, and I hope one day to meet him and, have a cup of coffee with him and have a good rattle. So, yeah, that's my video done for today. You all take care, and I'll do another one tomorrow. Thank you for watching my daily vlog. I hope it was informative and interesting. If you like what I'm doing, then you can subscribe to my channel by clicking there. And if you want to see exactly what I was talking about yesterday, you can look up there. Bye for now.